I bet you didn't know that some of the most common exercises, yes, even the ones your doctor or fitness instructor might have told you are good for your heart, could actually be doing more harm than good. Especially after you turn 60. I'm talking about exercises that can quietly stress your heart, wear down your arteries, and leave you feeling more drained than energized, all without you realizing what's happening behind the scenes. It's one of the most silent, most overlooked threats facing older adults today, and millions of seniors are walking straight into it every time they hit the gym, go for a walk, or follow a popular workout video online. If you've ever pushed through a routine only to feel dizzy, lightheaded, or strangely anxious afterward, if your heart races hours after you've cooled down, or if you just don't feel right after exercise anymore, this video could change the way you think about movement for good. And look, I know what you're probably thinking. But I have to stay active. That's what keeps me young, right? And you're not wrong, but here's the thing. What if I told you that there are people in their late 70s, even 80s, who are not just maintaining their health, but actually reversing heart damage, building endurance, sleeping better, and walking around with more energy than they had in their 40s? They didn't do it by exercising harder or longer. They didn't buy into the no pain, no gain trap. They learned something almost nobody talks about, something most fitness plans for seniors get completely wrong. And once they made one key shift, their bodies responded in ways they didn't think were possible at their age. The truth is, more than 90% of seniors today are still following advice that's outdated by decades. Even with the best intentions, most doctors never tell you this, because they're trained to treat disease, not optimize aging. But recent studies, like the ones coming out of the American College of Cardiology, are showing us a new reality. When it comes to senior fitness, moderation isn't enough anymore. Precision is everything. And today, I'm revealing 5 exercises that might be quietly damaging your heart, exercises you've probably done this month, maybe even this week, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why swapping them out could help you protect your heart, your energy, and your future. Alright, let's get into the first exercise I'm begging you to reconsider, especially if you're over 60. Number 1, long-distance jogging or power walking for over 60 minutes. Now, I know this one sounds counterintuitive. Walking is often seen as the gold standard for senior fitness, and yes, it can be incredibly beneficial. But here's the truth nobody is talking about: it's not just what you do, it's how long and how intensely you're doing it. When you're walking, or jogging, for more than an hour at a time, especially if you're pushing through fatigue or hills, your body starts to release a hormone called cortisol. That's your stress hormone. And in small doses, it's fine. But when cortisol is released too often, or stays elevated for too long, that's when it becomes a problem. Prolonged cardio, especially after 60, can lead to what researchers call chronic cardiac inflammation. Your heart doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Instead, this kind of stress wears down the elasticity of your arteries, raising the risk of stiffness, elevated blood pressure, and long-term damage to the heart muscle itself. A recent study out of Johns Hopkins found that sustained aerobic activity, past 60 minutes, in older adults may actually increase arterial stiffness instead of improving it. Think about that for a second. The very thing you've been told is good for your heart might be quietly putting more strain on it than it can safely handle. So what do you do instead? Simple. Break your walks into shorter sessions, 20 to 30 minutes max. You can even add light intervals, a slightly faster pace for 1 minute, followed by 2 minutes at a comfortable stroll. Or walk on a slight incline for added benefit without added time. This way, you still get all the cardiovascular perks, but without pushing your heart past its recovery threshold. And here's the myth I want to bust wide open: more isn't always better. Especially for the aging heart. In fact, doing less, but doing it smarter, can actually make you stronger in the long run. Let's move on to the second one, and this might surprise you even more. Number 2, burpees and high-impact plyometrics. Now I've seen this pop up everywhere: YouTube videos, senior boot camps, even some trendy, Silver Fit programs. The idea is to get your heart rate up quickly with explosive movements like jump squats, burpees, mountain climbers, and the like. And while these might be fine for a 25-year-old athlete, they're a big red flag for older adults, especially those with even mild heart or joint concerns. Here's why: high-impact exercises cause rapid spikes in heart rate and blood pressure. That might sound like a good workout, but for the aging heart, those sudden surges can be risky. Your arteries are less flexible than they once were. Your heart may not adjust as quickly to the demand. And that mismatch between oxygen demand and supply? That's exactly where arrhythmias, or irregular heartbeats, can creep in. The AARP published a review that found seniors over 65 had a significantly higher risk of injury and cardiac irregularities when engaging in high-impact movements. And yet, many older adults are told, just modify it. But guess what? A modified burpee is still a burpee. And your heart doesn't know the difference between a full jump or a half jump, it just knows it's under stress. So what should you do instead? Try low-impact alternatives that still get your blood moving, without the trauma to your joints or heart. Step-ups onto a low platform. Marching in place with light hand weights. Resistance band cardio circuits with controlled movement. These not only build endurance and strength, they do it in a way that keeps your heart calm and steady. And don't fall for the myth that you need to shock your system to see results. You don't need to jump. You don't need to fall to the floor and get back up 10 times. What you need is consistency, control, and careful progression. Remember, longevity is not about burning out your body, it's about supporting it. Protecting it. Listening to what it needs now, not what it could handle 30 years ago. Let's keep going, because the next one is especially important if you've been told to lift heavy to stay strong. Number 3, heavy deadlifts or squats without supervision. Now don't get me wrong, strength training is essential as we age. It supports bone health, keeps your metabolism steady, and helps prevent falls. But the way many seniors approach it, that's where things can quietly go wrong. Here's the issue: lifting heavy weights, especially in movements like deadlifts or squats, can cause a sudden and dangerous spike in blood pressure. You might not even feel it. But inside, your heart is working overtime to stabilize your body, manage the load, and keep blood flowing to your muscles. For someone with even a minor heart issue, diagnosed or undiagnosed, this can be risky business. And unfortunately, these risks are rarely explained. You're told to just start lifting, because it's good for your bones, but without proper guidance, it can be like walking a tightrope without a safety net. Studies show that the pressure inside your arteries during a heavy lift can climb dramatically, especially if you're bearing down or bracing hard. This strain on the heart can lead to lightheadedness, dizzy spells, or worse. And with age, your blood vessels don't have the same elasticity they used to. So the margin for error gets much smaller. So what's the safer, and still effective, alternative? Chair squats. Wall sits. Resistance training using lighter weights or resistance bands under the guidance of a professional who understands senior physiology. That part is key. Not every personal trainer knows how an aging body responds to force. You want someone who respects what's happening inside your body, not just what they see on the outside. And here's the takeaway: it's not about lifting heavier. It's about lifting smarter. Your goal isn't to impress anyone, it's to protect your independence, your mobility, and your heart. That leads us straight into mistake number 4. Something most people don't even realize they're doing. Number 4, holding your breath during strength work, also known as the Valsalva maneuver. This one's sneaky. You might be doing it without thinking. You go to lift something heavy, maybe a dumbbell, maybe a bag of groceries, and instinctively, you hold your breath and brace. It feels natural. It gives you a bit more power in the moment. But here's the problem: that breath-holding technique, what's called the Valsalva maneuver, causes a sharp increase in pressure inside your chest. Now, inside your chest is your heart. When you bear down and hold your breath, you're increasing intrathoracic pressure, which temporarily reduces the blood returning to your heart. That drop in blood flow can be enough to make you feel dizzy, short of breath, or in rare cases, trigger a dangerous arrhythmia. And here's the thing, most exercise guides never talk about breathing. They focus on the movement, the reps, the sets. But they miss the part that could literally make or break your heart. So what should you do instead? Learn the rhythm of exhaling during exertion. That means when you push, lift, or rise, you breathe out. When you lower or rest, you breathe in. Think of it like a gentle wave. This keeps your blood pressure more stable and reduces unnecessary strain on your cardiovascular system. And let's bust another myth while we're here. It's not just about what you lift, it's how you breathe while you do it. Breathing is your body's built-in safety valve. It protects your heart, your brain, and your blood flow. And if you master it, you'll not only feel stronger, you'll feel safer while getting stronger. So many seniors skip this step, and it's one of the simplest things you can start doing right now. Whether you're lifting weights, gardening, or just getting up from a chair, remember, don't hold your breath. Exhale through the effort. It's a small change that makes a big difference. Now, let's talk about the fifth and final exercise I need you to think twice about, because this one is rising in popularity, but very few people are talking about the hidden danger it can pose for older adults. Number 5. Hot yoga or overheated workouts in small, enclosed studios. You might have seen it advertised as detoxifying or great for flexibility. Maybe a friend swears by it. Or maybe you've tried it yourself, thinking the extra sweat meant a better workout. But here's what you really need to know. When you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, your body doesn't regulate temperature the way it did when you were younger. Your sweat glands are less responsive. Your circulation patterns change. And your heart has to work much harder to keep your core temperature balanced, especially in hot, humid spaces where airflow is poor. What starts as a simple yoga session can quickly become a cardiovascular stress test you didn't sign up for. Your blood vessels dilate to try to cool you down. Your blood pressure drops. Your heart rate spikes to compensate. And in that moment, if you're dehydrated, or if you have even mild undiagnosed heart conditions, you're facing real risk. The Mayo Clinic has published multiple warnings about this. They've found that extreme temperatures during exercise can destabilize both blood pressure and oxygen flow, especially in older adults. The risk isn't just feeling faint or dizzy, it's potential arrhythmia, heat exhaustion, or even heat stroke, which can happen far faster than most people expect. I know this sounds alarming, but there's a safer, smarter way to get all the benefits of yoga without putting your heart under pressure. The better choice. Gentle yoga or stretching done in a cool, well-ventilated room. Focus on deep breathing. Mindful movement. Postures that open the joints and gently stretch the muscles. These forms of movement still increase circulation, lower stress hormones, and improve balance, but they do so in a way that honors your body's current needs, not its past abilities. And here's the final myth I want to bust: sweating more does not mean you're getting healthier. That's a fitness industry illusion. Sweat is your body trying to cool down, not a sign that you're burning more or detoxifying. Your kidneys and liver do the detoxing, not the sweat pouring out of your skin. In fact, when you sweat too much, especially in a hot room, you risk losing electrolytes your heart depends on to function. That's not a recipe for health, that's a setup for depletion. So the next time you see a class offering hot yoga for longevity, or an ad promising the fat-melting power of extreme sweat, remember this: your longevity isn't built in a sauna. It's built in calm, consistent, heart-safe movement. Respect the heat. Listen to your body. And above all, don't trade peace for pressure. So, let's bring it all together for a moment. If you truly want to protect your heart, keep your energy steady through the day, and move through life with confidence and strength, not fear, then avoiding these 5 exercises might be one of the best things you ever do for your long-term health. No more overdoing long, punishing cardio sessions that leave you wiped out for hours afterward. No more jumping, pounding, or jerking movements that rattle your joints and spike your heart rate unpredictably. No more lifting heavy without proper support, or holding your breath and pushing through, hoping it's just part of aging. And no more overheating in stuffy studios thinking you're sweating out toxins, when all you're really doing is draining your system. Look, aging gracefully isn't about doing less, it's about doing what's right. What's safe? What's effective for the body you have now, not the one you had 30 years ago. You don't need extreme workouts. You don't need to chase youth. What you need is smart, targeted movement that supports your heart, strengthens your muscles, protects your balance, and actually leaves you feeling better when you're done, not worse. And here's the good news, that kind of movement. It's 100% within your reach. Right now. Today. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need a little awareness, and the willingness to choose differently. Start small. But start today. Maybe it's a short walk in nature with breaks built in. Maybe it's 5 minutes of stretching in a quiet room. Maybe it's lifting light weights while focusing on your breath. Each of these little choices builds a foundation, and over time, they can protect your heart more than any supplement or procedure ever could. So I ask you, just one thing, don't let these 5 dangerous exercises sneak into your routine anymore. Swap them out for something better. Something kinder. Something designed for where you are now, and where you want to go. Because you still have so much life left to live. And your heart deserves the chance to beat strong through all of it. You know, your heart has carried you through more than most people realize. It's been there through every chapter of your story, through the years you raised families, built careers, took care of others, and maybe forgot to take care of yourself along the way. It's been there through every burst of laughter, every moment of heartbreak, every late night, every early morning, every quiet Sunday afternoon. This heart of yours, it's earned your respect. Not punishment. Not pressure. Not one-size-fits-all routines made for bodies 30 years younger. It deserves care. Gentle, thoughtful care that honors everything it's already done for you. So I want to ask you, just between us, which of these 5 exercises surprised you the most? Was there one you've been doing, thinking it was helping? But now, you're not so sure. Have you ever felt strange after a workout that was supposed to be healthy, lightheaded, overly exhausted, short of breath, or just off? You're not alone. And you don't have to figure this out on your own either. Scroll down and tell me in the comments. I want to know where you're watching from, and what this message stirred in you today. Our thriving Age Tip family spans the globe, and every comment you leave helps another senior feel less alone in their journey. And if this message spoke to your heart, if it gave you even one aha moment, don't let it stop here. Click the like button to show your support for content made specifically for seniors like you. Tap subscribe, so you never miss a tip that could literally change, or even save, your life. And hit that little bell so you're always the first to know when a new insight drops to help you age powerfully, gracefully, and confidently. Because growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser. And around here, we don't just add years to your life, we aim to add life to your years. This is your narrator's name if applicable, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay strong, stay smart, and stay thriving.